James brings the structure. And speaking of James, obviously he's back. You want to take this one, James?
So hold up. So our last 2 episodes are no-goes?
9 and 10 are no-goes. The audio...
Hang without the homies?
Hey, I'm missing the homies, yeah.
The one that you recorded with,
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, so we had to do an emergency podcast a couple days ago. Well, a few days ago.
Put this in the group chat. No one answered.
Yep.
Well, I mean, if we want to be fair, I was out of state at the time, so...
Right, and I mean, it was missing the homies. I'm not blaming anyone for not being here. We just had audio issues.
Yeah, so it was on Twitch because we couldn't get back together or whatever. And yeah, we didn't hear from you. So I was like literally on stream, just hoping no one would show up to our stream. And then I was like, oh God, what is it that Doug said? Doug brought up a really good subject, and it sucks because I don't remember what it was. And I'm sure he didn't go to re-listen to it since we recorded that episode either. So, yeah, there was some good stuff in that.
Oh yeah, those are 2 really good episodes. But unfortunately, you can't hear it now.
If I can ever get to a place where I can improve, well, once I improve myself, I can go back and look at them. Maybe I'll release them in the future. But there's nothing I can currently do.
No, it's fine. We'll do better this time because we have better stuff this time.
We've got a sound mixer. See, like that sound should be on there.
Yeah, there are sound buttons. I just haven't loaded anything on them yet. What I was actually referring to was my commute over here and the funny sound clip that we have from that because I was sending a voice message to these guys. And
that's going to get loaded on there as a designated button, too.
Yeah. And it recently snowed again. And winter came back in full force, and I've been used to it not being in full force. So as I'm sending these guys a voice message, I started spitting out on the road, and that whole thing was caught on, it was all recorded. So Alex is going to go ahead and put that on here at some point. I don't know,
Watch
maybe.
our shorts, people.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, you could edit in right between these 2 if you wanted to. But.
I can, yeah, I'll do that.
We'll put a brief pause right here.
So, I went to go get in my car, and I noticed it looks like stuff had... Oh, God, I'm slipping. Oh, God, you guys... I'm literally slipping on the road right now. And I recorded it. Dude, I just fucking drifted. What the fuck?
For the sound clip.
We don't have to. You can separate it. That's
Yeah, I can separate it.
Editing. It's fun.
Yeah. We do enough silence according to Alex.
We've been getting better.
That was...
Just we can't prove it because our episodes are gone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could, release unfinished raw episodes if we wanted to, but people would not appreciate us.
Well, I mean, if people are that interested, I can definitely put it out there. But just let us know. It's up to you. I'm telling you right now, the audio is not great. But if
you
that's
want
what
us
you
to
want,
put
we'll
a
do it.
Patreon of really crappy episodes, let us know.
if you want to pay for our shit, we'll direct you there.
Yes. We do have ambitions to get a better sound mixer than the one we're currently using. So that doesn't have to be a Patreon, but I mean, we'll figure something out.
If anyone works in the audio empire and has one floating around, just send it to us. I got a P.O. box. Send me a message.
Yeah. Actually, responding to any kind of mail would be fun, too. Well, depending on what we get.
Yep, that's why I asked if we had an email, just because fan emails and stuff like that. I think that'd be fun to go through it. Well, I guess when we have fans.
I'm a fan of us.
Well, so am I, but I mean...
Hey, look, our fan.
No, Gilbert is working right now.
I'm pretty sure somebody's mom posted on one of our videos. That was pretty cool.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Nana.
Gosh, yeah. So this was something I addressed on the episode that we lost. So right before we recorded the last episode, I saw that his grandma had liked the Hooligan Media page. And I was like, great. The last episode we put out was the Midwest Hot one. And she is very, I think she's like very second wave feminist, so that would probably come off very chauvinist. So we were having a whole talk about like chauvinism and all that in the last episode.
I think
remember
she would appreciate us being able to find beauty in everyone.
Yes, maybe that. Yes, and then we also talked about like Alex's history of, not Al, more of Gilbert's history of branding Alex anti-feminist. And all the times Alex has said something remotely misogynistic, and like Gilbert was right there to be like, "See, I told you. I knew you hated women."
He introduces me to people that way. Hey, this is Alex. He's an anti-feminist. It's like, no, I've said some stupid things in the past.
He's a huge fan of Andrew Tate. He listens to
Oh
the
my
Fresh and
God.
Fit podcast.
Are we just doing a call
And
out
I'm
now?
taking the mic away.
It's okay, because when I get to my portion here, I'm going to have to explain all the almost really racist shit that I said on my trip.
Oh God,
So-
Chad wants the mic.
That also reminds me, I think we lost the Chronically Online bit,
We did lose Chronicle.
Oh man, I didn't get to hear that.
which is perfect. We'll go back over it. But the real results was I was the Chronically Online one, because like Doug knows a lot of people. He still didn't know a lot of the people I was bringing up, but some of them were niche, some of them weren't. So let's get into the whole fun racism bit. You were
All right.
racist to who?
So I'm just going to like contextualize this a little bit. We were down in Council Bluffs, Iowa for Vex IQ US Open, which is now a nationals and worldwide event. There was 12 teams from China and Hong Kong. There was a team from Turkey, a team from the UK, a team from Australia, and a team from fucking Kazakhstan, of all places. Like, random ass Kazakhstan there. And in 40 different states. But, it's robotics, and it's very high-ranking teams. And the first thing I noticed when I went in there is like, holy shit, there's a lot of little Chinese kids here. And it was all U.S. teams. It's like, oh shit! I thought there was a lot more teams from China here, but no, those are all California teams.
There do be a lot of Asians in California.
There do be, and a lot of Canadian ones as well. Like it was Vancouver, and every single one of them was Chinese speaking, like no English at all. Even though all their signs were in. I know it's not kanji, but I don't know what you actually call Chinese.
I was about to say, are you sure that they were Chinese and not like Korean and Filipino?
No, it was very, very obviously Chinese. Without being, again, sounding too racist about it, very hard to mistake that flag. But
You're like, this is almost the communist flag.
well, I will say that Kazakhstan has a fucking sweet flag. Like, I took a picture of it. It's this nice baby blue with some sweet stars and shit on there. Like, I'll show you guys a picture later. They were cool. They brought chocolate from Kazakhstan. It was not that good. It's actually pretty terrible. But the packaging was really sweet, and it had their flag on it. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, that is not a very rich country by any means. So they must have. You're going to do it. I know what you're going to do.
What am I gonna do?
You're going to do something about potassium.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything about potassium. I was gonna say, well, it's our fat American ass chocolate. It fucking is what's wrong.
It tasted exactly like our fat American chocolate.
Oh, well then.
That's why I said it wasn't that good.
Fat
Okay,
It wasn't
okay.
bad.
American
It
chocolate.
wasn't something to write home to, but it was good.
It wasn't like terrible. It's just like, oh, this just tastes like gas station chocolate. The packaging was really cool though, but it's like, oh, it's from halfway around the world,
Right.
and that's really sweet. But yeah, I mean, besides all the little racism there at the start of that, 7,024 elementary teams.
Wait, before we move on from the racism, no one's going to bring up Borat right now?
That's what I thought was going on.
I kind of felt like it was.
I shut him down.
He's a Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder if they had to deal with that at all while they were at the robotics competition. Just someone like,
I don't think any of the kids know who Borat is. I think that's our generation. I don't think.
yeah, like
it's
the
theirs.
parents should know. Yeah, go. Very nice. You bring me chocolate.
I just thought it was gonna be too easy of a joke.
That's exactly where I thought you were going with it, though. As soon as I said it, and I
how
saw
many
that look on
chances-
your face.
That's why that's why I was doing the thing that I don't normally do and not go for the easy joke.
How many chances do you get to meet a Kazakhstani though?
I mean, it's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
Fair.
Like, I mean, of all the countries that would have been there, that is the last one I would have thought would have been there.
Mm-hmm.
They traveled quite a ways too. Kazakhstan ain't no hop, skip, and a jump. That's that's like 8 layovers.
No, I was trying to determine if it was them or Turkey that had the furthest flight to get to us,
Yeah.
and I think they went just on inconvenience alone because they probably had to fly to somewhere else to get there. Like Turkey has some pretty big.
They're pretty close
cities.
by, I think, like both of those countries to each other. So I was like, oh wait.
Fairly close. I mean, Kazakhstan's just above Afghanistan a little ways there. Turkey, I mean, you hop over to like the UK and then down.
Kazakhstan has it. Turkey is closer to us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Doug's over here Googling shit.
Yeah, like Turkey's like the Middle East, and I thought Kazakhstan was like Asia, but above the Middle East.
Oh yeah, no, Kazakhstan is like dead center of Asia.
Thanks, Jamie.
Or the Asian continent.
We got our own Jamie there. Gosh, what was I gonna say? This is getting edited out for sure.
Or so you think. But yeah, here's the
No,
trip.
it's not.
Yeah.
It says the trip to get here is 2 days and 22 hours. So
Oh.
basically 3 days. of
Yeah.
travel.
Yeah.
Like
I rememred what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that.
And look at their flag though. That's pretty sweet.
that is.
That is a pretty sweet
It is a
flag.
really sweet flag.
You guys can't see it. We'll have Alex put the flag up on the
Well-
video.
Well, Alex can't even see it right now. Doug's not sharing with this side of the room.
Yeah, damn. If only Alex had a phone or a computer in front of him.
Oh, that is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I see it. Looks like the UN flag actually.
A little bit. I can see it.
You
Yeah.
can see that.
But the thing I'm wondering also that I'd ask, like, well, it's kind of a dickhead move to be like, what's worse, your country or Iowa? But I'd definitely. But I'd be a little bit,
I mean,
a little bit tempted to ask.
criticizing Iowa more than anything else, but
There's a lot to criticize about Iowa. I'll get into that later about how we started calling all the windmills liberals, and it made our trip through Iowa a hell of a lot more fun. But
Yeah.
I'll say they brought all these rugs and everything with them from fucking Kazakhstan for their booth, and that was like really cool. Like it was all
Jeez.
decked out in Kazakhstani rugs.
That's really cool.
But yeah, other than that though, like.
Would you say it was very nice?
Very nice.
So, random fun fact about rugs. Apparently, they're very good for insulation. So, lots of Middle Eastern countries will hang rugs up on the walls for added insulation and like cooling and stuff like that. But again, I think I just read that somewhere. But yeah, apparently rugs are very good for that.
I hope that picked up. I was just checking the audio board there, and I was like, wait. So I was looking like that.
I think it picked up.
Okay, good.
If not, it's cool. It's just a stupid fact.
Yeah, just nothing. Doug yapping, just barely heard. I was sitting there like, I wonder if that's true, or like, where Doug heard that, or
I mean, I could see that though. It's
Yeah.
extra padded layers and everything.
it makes sense. Well,
Well, I think also because lots of buildings over there are like they're like brick. It's cold.
I just-
brick, one layer. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing buffering you from the.
I just think
elements.
about like all the like really Islam coded movies that have like the hanging rugs and carpets everywhere, and people are like falling through them to break their fall and stuff, like like Scorpion King and shit. I was like, yeah, I was sitting there like, is it really though, or is it just like one of those kind of myth
no
things?
shit.
So
Oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. That sounds interesting. Okay.
I'm just thinking about like the stereotypes, but no, stereotypes come from somewhere. So Makes me want to look into this later.
If it's a
Right.
consolation, I think that's a Russian thing. I think that's a Russian fact, like Russian citizens saying lots of drugs. But I don't. Again,
Say Russian again.
Russian. It's just that way we can keep on the good side, because.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you think rugs, like Turkish rugs are expensive and shit too, so they're all over the place. So I think that's just kind of that area of the world is very rug focused.
Mm-hmm.
The Middle East is Asia, so isn't that fun?
Right? Not really the Middle East of anything. It's just kind of like the middle there. They get kind of screwed on names.
Oh yeah, no, they're at an intersection and they're just like, yeah, we're just the intersection.
Doug, are you fact checking yourself?
Well, yeah, I was. I did rugs on walls and all I got was photos.
So,
I suppose it's like Middle East, or not middle-aged tapestries and shit. They put tapestries everywhere so you didn't touch cold stone.
yeah, isn't it kind of funny about the whole Middle East thing? Like, the exact opposite is Midwest, like the Midwest and the Middle East.
They're kind of the same. They all suck.
We all wear more layers.
I think the Middle
else.
East is dope, like, culturally, but...
Dude, like, I look at how it is now, and fuck no, I ain't going there, but you look at the romanticized parts of, like, Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, Syria, and all the cool shit that's there. Like, if it wasn't so terrifying to go, that's very white of me to say that.
Turkey? I don't think Turkey's scary to go to.
There's a lot of shit that happens there. Like, they bone saw people to death and hack them into pieces.
Yeah, but, like,
We're
people still go to
We're
Mexico.
not reporters.
We have microphones.
True, that's all you need these days in order to be a freaking news reporter now is just have a mic.
Like it or not, Doug, you're a journalist now.
I know. So now I gotta fact check myself and make sure I stay on point. Damn it!
Gosh, don't say we're a journalist too loud.
Oh yeah, true. True. We were in the middle of a trailer park. We're all getting lynched because of
Right.
that. Fuck.
Yeah, I was about to say the one thing I could think about the Middle East and the Midwest that have in common is the zealotry with the religion.
Oh, you mean Al-Qaeda?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Al Qaeda and Al Qaeda.
Didn't ISIS just do something crazy recently?
They shot up a stage of some sort in Moscow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that,
dude, total
fucking-
massacre.
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
They've been fighting Russia for a while.
they're
don't like
they're
that
just
much.
trying to get some attention because Israel has all of it lately.
Shit.
Fuck.
Shit.
They're like, we're not about to be out terrorists by some freaking Jews. You guys aren't even supposed to be the
Oh, I
terrorists.
see you guys are doing a genocide. Hold my beer.
Russia, I don't even really like you, Baka.
Yeah.
All this stuff we can't use.
Yeah, yeah, trash talk button the whole time. Like, whoa, he said the J word. Okay, that's the thing that I do want to discuss. So I've met quite a few Jewish people in my life. The word Jew has never been a problem, but
It's tone. Jew can be a problem depending on your tone.
yeah, like
Very easily.
Mhm.
Like,
it's
no,
weird. The same way, like the
I don't want to
slur.
end my career just yet.
All right,
Well,
the same.
You gotta disguise your voice a little bit. You got to put a little bit of the southern in there.
Okay, so the same way Asian slurs are usually just shortened words of like the nationality, like Japanese. I'm not gonna say it.
Do
I
it.
might,
Do it.
Dude, no.
I might be Japanese, but just in case, I don't have the pass, so I'm not gonna say it. So, it's the same way like Jewish and Jew. So it's like, okay, so with the same rules applied to Japanese, Jew could be a slur, and some people act like it is, but
It's entirely on the tones. Like, if you say those Jews have really good delis over there versus those Jews over there, two different things for the same words.
yeah. Every time people overly criticize Hollywood, I'm like, what are you really trying to say right now?
Right?
Who are you?
What does the deep state actually mean to you?
Or even
Yeah.
even worse, like they keep trying to hide it by using like they, like just this ambiguous they.
Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
And just so you guys know, globalists, like that's just another word. Like
We've
it's
been
just a dog whistle, guys. Like
We've been trying to get them to use they them forever, right?
The only time, yeah. Okay, so another thing, Doug brought up a funny point too. For the I mean, center right apolitical people that follow conspiracy theories, is like globalists and all that, usually does fall into the pretty much like old school Nazi propaganda rebranded.
Anti-Semitism.
And what I think is funny though is because it's like if you dig, it's like the same rabbit hole you can go through, and it's literally just like in your face where it's like, it's the upper class, it's the upper class, it's the upper class, and they're like, oh man, crazy how Jews did this. Like, it's like, look at all these rich people that aren't Jewish people, but they're controlled by Jewish people somehow. Let me just
Right? Right? None of this makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
Sweet Mary and Joseph.
I don't know, man. I think if Jews ruled the world, they'd probably pick a little bit nicer spot to rule from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You mean like the White House?
Like, Santa Monica or something. Nice weather all year round.
I think where we going with this.
I was actually speechless. I was like, Doug, what are you saying right now?
Doug, you're going to get us canceled.
I know I am.
This podcast is getting a little.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Take us away from the Jews. I'm going to go back to my little boy here.
Yeah. I actually said on the. You go back to the more wholesome stuff.
If you want to hear us cancel ourselves.
I actually did just connect the dots of how we got to here.
Yeah. Amazing. We go from Kazakhstan to rugs to Jews. Jesus. He was one of them too. Anyway, so robotics. Yeah.
7,000, you said?
7,024 elementary teams. So they split up this. We had 48 to 52 teams on there. I don't have my phone on me. I'm not going to look it up, but that's how many showed up to this event.
Mm-hmm.
We ended up 7th. Not we. When I say we, I mean them. I didn't do shit. I had a lot of that fruit snacks. That was my contribution.
You're still a coach, right?
Oh yeah.
So I think you can include yourself in the we.
True. I did buy the fruit snacks.
You are
so
part of the
that
team.
Does count.
Yeah.
But yeah, they ended up 7th in their division, 12th in skills, and then 13th overall.
Damn.
So yeah, out
Good
of
on 'em.
fucking dude, great. So out of 7,024 teams, we ended our season at 13th overall out of all of them. The competition they focused on too, they had the number 1 skills team in the world was there too.
Okay.
Now they ended up winning, but now I'm going to call out the bullshit out of all this. So Vex IQ is supposed to be all student-led, kid-focused. They're supposed to design and build everything on their own, right? Chad's over there smiling.
I'm trying not to stop. I'm trying not to bring something up.
Jews.
No, not Jews. No. I'm like, it has nothing to do with even the podcast, like what we're talking about at all. So, and I've been debating bringing it up because like it's about Alex over here. I don't want to say anything.
Well, let me get out my little thing, then you can go ahead and bring up Alex.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Yeah, go ahead.
So, it's supposed to be, kid-led, design, everything. So we ended up 13th overall. Every single fucking robot after us was literally the exact same design, peg for peg. They were fucking bought and paid for robots, design everything. These kids did not fucking design these things themselves. They did not make them themselves. And they should have been fucking called out for it. Because if you look at the videos of these things going, there's no way a goddamn 4th or 5th grader thought of how to build these things to raise up and spread everything out on their own. It's fucking bullshit, but you can't call them out on it. They should have been called out by the judges.
Are you underestimating the Chinese here?
I am. Because I know they fucking cheated. Because I've seen the YouTube video of the guy who sells these things.
Haven't you seen the video of that very young Chinese kid crying into his room and then he starts breakdancing and spinning on his head?
What?
They're capable of anything.
What? I've got a lot of shit to look
What is
up.
happening? Jews and spinning Chinese people. What's happening?
Breakdancing Chinese.
Okay. Spinning.
Okay.
My
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, that's different. He could have just been trying to express himself through the only way he knows how to dance.
Yeah, he's just like sobbing and then he just starts spinning on his head. I'm like, why are you recording yourself crying, first of all? Second of all, what is going on? Anyway, so you said you found the guy who sold these
Oh,
robots.
yeah, dude, I mean, if you look on fucking YouTube, there's one guy who beats these games every year. So the games change every year. There's an engineer who figures out the way to literally perfect these games and beat them. And he sells these designs. So if you would have lined up all 12 robots in front of ours, the only way you would have known they were different was by the license plate on them, so you know whose is what. They were fucking peg for peg, the exact same. And I fucking think it's horseshit. But on the plus side, we beat a bunch of them that had those same robots. They just sucked. So it's
User failure.
oh, complete user failure. Like
Skill issue.
yeah, because we had a lot of these teams. Yeah, they buy these robots, but they don't know how to fucking use them. They don't learn how to use them. Their dads don't make them sit there and practice the robot for 3 hours a day like one of their kids did.
Wow.
Not even kidding. Fuck, dude. He must have been 6 years old, and we had extra kids with us on our team there who had a Switch with them.
Yeah.
And, like, as soon as they got there, he was waiting for him. Because that's the only time he could get away from his dad who made him practice the whole fucking time we were there.
Jeez.
Like, damn, dude. That's hardcore. Kid didn't speak any English. But he made friends with these other fucking 6-year-olds so they could play Mario Kart.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, man, fucking, I don't know if you guys have, well, we've kind of been all down the road there going through South Dakota and everything. There's all the fucking windmills and everything down. So from the trip from Council Bluffs all the way to Des Moines is literally nothing but windmills.
Damn liberals.
So yeah, I started making jokes about fucking green energy and everything and how these liberals are taking over these hardcore conservative states, and it got to be really goddamn funny every time you go over a hill. There are goddamn liberals over there. There's liberals in that town.
Don't you know oil built that damn windmill there, the liberal?
Goddamn liberals taking over my state. Honey, where we at? Where we at with all these liberals? Iowa? Fucking liberals all over in Iowa taking over my goddamn state. Can't wait for Trump to get here and take all these liberals out of this land. Oh, that was a good 7 hours of driving. I did not let up the entire time.
It's like I feel like all those windmills are there because their infrastructure is probably so poor. Kind of like the power in around our region is pretty bad.
I mean, yeah, but they at least recognize that it fucking sucks around here and there's a lot of wind, so you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah. God, the amount of power we would have here.
Right?
We'd have some.
At this point in time, I'd like to just have a windmill in like the empty lot next door, so that I just have continual fucking power. That'd be amazing.
You invite one liberal, you get more.
I know from my security career also that company I used to contract with owns a bunch of windmills out in the Midwest somewhere. I don't know if it's in Iowa, but yeah, it's really crazy because it's like the same company that owns SDG&E or whatever it's called now. If it's still called SDG&E,
I think so.
they own like a bunch of stuff in Texas, a bunch of stuff like they own nuclear power in Texas. I remember that, which I was like, what? But yeah, they own a bunch of windmills, and apparently like people were protesting like the oil fracking they were doing too, with somehow tied with the windmills. So like, it's that I was kind of kidding with the whole oil built that, but like there really is like a way where like the windmills are. I don't know if it's like they were using that to power like the fracking.
Oh, probably. Yeah, you use the wind power to push the pumps.
Yeah.
Push the oil out.
See, back then I was just like, whatever. You guys are doing messed up things in Chile, I know, because like that was another thing. They had like eco-terrorist threats from Chilean people that we had to be like, watch out in case they try to firebomb any of our facilities here.
Sorry, excuse me. Didn't Chile actually have a like gold mining operations, or was it in Argentina? There was some country where they had like basically a gold company come into town and then like get rid of the like illegal miners, but the miners there were people that lived there, so like it's a very confusing situation for me as to how people that live in an area are illegally mining something their land, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah. Well, it depends if their government like contracted this other company or whatever. Because it's like, in the same way, like there's so many resources we can get our own oil, technically, but obviously someone else owns like the land, and it's usually like the government is also contracting people for their oil and stuff. So even though we live in America, we can get so many different resources from places. Like obviously, there's red tape. And for a reason too, because we would tap out every freaking resource.
oh yeah, no, if we didn't have like half of the environmental agencies that we had, like this place would be nothing but an industrial wasteland right now. Like, I'm trying not to be nihilistic, but like legit, I don't think any factory owner looks at a field of grain and goes, "That's food." They just go, "That's land that I need to buy."
Well, I also
Like,
don't think the common redneck, the blue collar worker who's like, oh, if things go to shit, or we shouldn't have to have licenses for hunting and fishing. I don't think they really think about it either. Where it's like, if all these people, and I don't even mean all the people like in our country, just all the people who are already hunting and fishing, were able to do that stuff all the time, like the populations would be gone. And
well, and then on top of that too, with us being a capitalistic society, like people will take advantage of it. If there's no tag limits, no fishing limits, nothing like that, they legit would probably fish the entire fucking lake and sell it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck your recreation.
Yep.
They're already doing it to half the ocean.
Yeah.
You just touched on what I was gonna say too. Was like just with regulations, we're already doing so much damage just to the ocean. It's crazy.
Yeah. And
Like-
the issue is that it's. I want to think people are a little more intelligent and able to look at information and take it in and like come to a logical conclusion. But for some reason, there's just this. It's like everybody wanted to become a teenager again, so now they're just finding absolutely anything to say. Nah, that ain't real, or that ain't for just trying to be a. I'm at a loss for words.
You want them to be a liberal?
How are
I
they
want
gonna?
them to be more liberal, damn it.
Why do they want me to turn into a? Sorry.
Did you lose your train of thought, or just okay? I was like, or what you were gonna say is so bad. Okay, we were mentioning cancel culture earlier, which reminds me, in one of the lost episodes, I did go on a rant that I do remember again.
Well, let's hear the rant.
The rant is cancel culture is not real.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just people telling you suck.
Yeah, I mean, like, no.
I've had this argument plenty of times with people. I mean, the way I was joking about like Alex liking Andrew Tate. People that actually like Andrew Tate would always bitch when he was deplatformed, from a bunch of sites, and he's like, but he should be able to say really sexist stuff and say women should get beat and teach men how to do sex trafficking and all that. And I was like, okay, you guys are saying like, he has it's like, can I go in your house and say whatever I want and do whatever I want? And they're like, well, no, that's different. It's like, okay, no, it's not, because someone owns all these platforms you guys are complaining about.
Yeah.
And even then, deplatforming doesn't work, because when they freaking pulled him off all those sites, what was he doing? He was on Fox News talking to freaking Tucker Carlson.
Well, and deplatforming does work. Does anyone here fucking remember the Duck Dynasty guys? That's what I thought.
I was about to say, that's I think that might be a different reason, and that's because I don't think anybody really paid attention to them much in the first place, unless you were rednecks, and
Well, and fucking look at where we live. There's a huge fucking redneck calling here, but you don't.
I was about to say your niece. I was like, that's probably the only reason you know what's going on with the Duck Dynasty boys.
But yeah, I mean, you take away their fucking platform, and they'll find a little bit of things to crawl out here and there, but eventually, no one fucking gives a shit anymore. Like, fuck them. And no, there is no cancel culture. Just people suck and people move on.
Yeah, people say you suck. You're not welcome here anymore, and that's the whole thing that's really annoying. Is so many, like, I know we're joking about getting canceled, but I've had this discussion with so many people that are like, you shouldn't be able to like take away somebody's ability to speak. It's like, no, they have the ability to speak, just not on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, because they say, hey, don't say this stuff. And even then, people get away with saying it, saying horrible, transphobic, homophobic, racist, absolute heinous shit. Like YouTube is a huge place for that.
That fucking algorithm.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, like people act as if one person gets pulled off for going too far, and it's like the end of free speech as we know it. And it's like, no, it's just that person was being loud, and people who pay attention were like, okay, you're not welcome here anymore. That guy can still be loud somewhere else. Like,
yeah.
that's why Kick and Rumble and all these other weird platforms exist.
Well, I think it's funny because at a young age, we're always told there are consequences to your actions. There are also consequences to the things you say. So, if you say some hateful, awful shit, there is a chance some dude is going to punch you in the face. I'm not telling people to punch people or anything like that, but maybe you should punch people.
You have full freedom of speech.
Yeah.
You just don't have freedom from consequences.
Right. Exactly. If someone doesn't like what you said, chances are they can either say something or do something about it. And you opened that door. Sorry if you don't like what came out, but you opened the door.
Well, it's kind of like with older people and stuff. You know how older people will say some of the most off-brand fucking things. We give them a pass. Oh, sorry, I got to project.
Yep.
Well, so like with old people and stuff, like
Yeah.
they say some off-brand stuff sometimes, but we often give them a card. They're fucking old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, if you are a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, even like I would say, if you're 70, then we'll give you a card. You know, like if you have an AARP membership, we'll go ahead and write you a card for that racist thing you just said. Okay.
Right.
But like, if you are 20, 30, 40, 50, like motherfucker, you better like watch your words, my dudes. Like, opinions change over time. I mean.
And old people should watch their mouths too, because like,
Oh, absolutely.
we're at this point where
Well, old people now are our parents. Like AARP, that's like
That's
our
my
parents
dad.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's not the old coot generation from the 50s anymore. Like these fuckers were born and grew up then.
Yeah, those other people are just in office now.
yeah. I mean, there's a whole thing with like, well, especially I think like Gen Z and younger Gen Z, basically, and younger millennials, because I mean that's us right here, younger millennials, where it's like everyone collectively went, actually, why should we respect you guys? You guys fucking suck. Why should we give you a pass?
I fully respect a lot of people that go no contact and shit. Like, that used to not happen. You just put up with shit. But now, dude, I can't wait for my kids to walk away from me for all the dumb shit that I say. I respect them for it.
Yeah, speaking of cancel culture and the way we've been going on about that, there is something worth bringing up, and that's, do you guys realize? So, I think we're on the better end. We don't say retard, and a lot of people still do. That's on its way out. It's ableist language. But going down the slippery slope of the ableist language, you understand we are going to be canceled when we are older by, Gen A, Gen B, for saying things like moron,
Oh yeah.
idiot,
Oh yeah.
dumbass. Like, it's going to be one of those things, because, like, I'm ready to die on that hill. That's where I'm like, no, I want to say, like, because there's a point where, like, people who go down this rabbit hole are like, well, you shouldn't say things that are, like,
I
mean.
don't know. Those things, you shouldn't say things that are mean, no, but stuff like that has been around for so long, and it's still
Hundreds
going.
of years.
I don't think those ones are going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because it's not targeting, well, moron used to target, but it's not like, it's not specifically targeting
dumb.
anyone now.
Yeah, dumb does. A lot of it is usually terms basically for, like, disabled people when you look into it more. But it's like, no, we still need a word to, like, words to use to,
Describe an idiot.
to basically insult people. It's like back when we were using gay to insult people. Of course, it wasn't just saying, oh, yeah, I get that, because you're insulting this person by comparing them to a gay person. So it's like the same road where, yeah, it's wrong to call someone a retard, because the insult there is that you're comparing them to someone who is mentally handicapped. So I understand, like, calling someone dumb, same thing. You're still doing that ableist thing. But it's like, okay, but we still need a word to call someone unintelligent just to insult them.
I need words to punish people.
Yeah. It's like this. It's like the weird people, like, you know, some of the, and I want to bring this up later in the podcast too. The kind of people who don't want to use any slurs or any insults that could be taken as slurs. So they're like, "You walnut."
And that's a fantastic insult right there.
You fucking fruit roll up.
Well, you're using fucking right there. You can't use that. You're a bad Mormon now.
I'm a bad Mormon.
Oh gosh, I got something to talk about Mormons too later.
Well, that's people doing that. That's all that sounds like. Okay, cool. You went to quiet Christian camp, and that's all you're sounding like now. Ooh, Chad brings us light.
We needed light so we could hear each other a little better.
That's like when you got to turn down the volume in the car so you can find the street you're looking for.
Well, yeah.
I just understood it was getting dark in here. I was like, it's gonna get darker in the next hour.
Because of our topics or what?
Yes.
No.
I don't know. This is almost let's get it on lighting.
The my Edison bulb.
Ooh, let's get it on.
Note that, you know, this is Doug's house, but Doug is still using my light bulbs, which is really awesome.
Well, yeah, I mean, hey, if it works, it works. I ain't gonna change nothing
Like, I
unless
left
it breaks.
those. Yeah, I hope those Edison bulbs don't go out.
Well, yeah, I mean...
They're just cool looking. That's why I bought them. But
Oh, did I change over the bulbs?
I'm not change that one. The Edison bulb used to be in there.
Well, yeah, that's why I was sitting here going, like, I could have sworn that was an Edison bulb, too, but it's not. It's a...
I love the ADHD in this room. This whole podcast just got derailed by lighting.
Oh, yeah, no.
That was a huge thing without James here too. Was the amount of ADHD that was happening in each episode.
Going all over the place.
So do you guys have?
I spent literally a week surrounded by almost 400 children, most of them who did not speak English. I don't have a mind anymore. Like, my shit's gone. So, I know I made a joke about structure, but I have no train of thought on this shit.
I had ideas for shirts for you that just said structure with your face on it.
Also, in episode 10, another thing that we just remembered because you said train of thought. Alex insists that in every episode you bring up trains.
Yeah, even if it's just a short little joke.
What are you doing? Alex
come on,
pulled out,
James, I know you wanna
or
say
James
something
pulled out
about
his
trains.
phone without saying anything. So
We got train facts that come.
yeah, he must have something.
I wasn't going to be on this one, but I was actually going to talk on the next one about a train trip I was going to want to take. Because Amtrak is opening up a new liner. And I love the F40 PH train. That is a motherfucker choo-choo right there. So I guess we'll just get the train up and out of the way. That if you ever see an F40 PH in the wild, take a picture of it and send it to me, because this is a motherfucker of a choo-choo. Because we went by the train museum. It's $25 to get in, and there's closed when we went by.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a bit pricey.
Oh, dude, fucking everything's $25 in Omaha. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
I need to Photoshop your face onto Thomas the Tank.
Look, I'm not saying I'm autistic, but I do like trains.
Hey man, you like what you like.
They're cool, you know? Like, it's a train. Like, you know, either automotive or on your wife, you know, whatever.
Why are you guys wiping off the mic?
I've been wanting to say it this whole time.
Why is the mic sticky?
I didn't want to say it the whole time. Alex has really clammy hands right now.
Oh,
And I didn't mind at first, but as time went on, I'm like, good dude, what the fuck? And I even thought it was me at first, and then, yeah, once he saw me wiping it off, he was like, yeah, my hands are really clammy. And yeah, I didn't want to bring it up on the podcast earlier, but I was like, dude, I can't handle this, so I was just going to keep wiping off the mic when I got it back. But part of me did want to be like, Alex, are your hands always clammy, or is like something happening right now? Or
I mean, I was warm today. Like when I came to my house, I was just like, God, I am a little warm. In
I
here.
definitely have times where like my hands do get clammy. So
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it where I'm like, is that is Alex always clammy like that, or something like? Oh, he ran off again.
Oh, now he's got to go wash his hands again.
Oh, fuck, he's all self-conscious now.
Well, that's it. I didn't want to like ruin the vibe and have him like thinking about it too much. Oh, he wanted to close the door. I think.
Yeah, your window in the bathroom's open.
Oh, yeah. You want to close that? I think they should be aired out by now.
Okay. Oh, you left it open for.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry, man.
Left it.
Just so everyone knows, I took a shit in Doug's bathroom before
No.
we started. And, you know, just for a present for him.
Gosh.
Fucking A, man.
You know what's a really bad thing? So when
Hold
Doug
on.
lived with us,
Hold
oh,
on. My hands aren't clammy now.
That is good to know.
yeah. So when Doug lived with me, he was using Poopery, which I was like, oh, that's such a cool concept. And so we got some after he left, and I always forget to use it.
Oh.
So it's just, it's just the bathroom's just getting wrecked or whatever. And I'm like, God, every time I'm like, damn it. I have a way to prevent this, and I just need to remember to not, or to use it.
I put my poopery out.
Oh, man.
I actually have some in the cabinet. I should put that out.
Oh, yeah, I would have made it smell like flowers in there for you then. My bad, man.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works. Just like a spritz or two, and just, yeah.
Well, like at the hospital, we have our unscented biological odor eliminator, which, I mean, works, but it just kind of smells like nothing, which is weird because things should smell like stuff, and it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I steal a couple bottles every now and then, but I don't ever use it at home.
I steal it just because fuck my job.
I haven't paid for toilet paper in like 5 years.
So, gosh, we were talking about cancel culture, but I do remember we mentioned the Mormon thing. I don't know if I should bring this up yet. Do you guys have anything else to
We've
say?
already talked about the Asians and the Jews. We might as well
Bring
talk
up the
about
Mormons
the
now.
Mormons.
Yeah, I saw the craziest thing on Facebook.
Let everybody have their share.
Yeah, Facebook Live, or not Facebook Live, Facebook video, a random reel or video or whatever, where some cops pulled over. Well, basically, it was a compilation of like when people who are kidnapped realize they're being saved. But the first one was the most off-putting one because it was this dude, Samuel Bateman, I believe, in Arizona, and apparently he's like a cult leader, which turns out he's a like old school Latter-day Saints guy, like. And
yeah, okay. I know
he had like 10 girls in a trailer, the youngest one being 11. And in the video, the police are like getting their names, and you can tell the people who weren't as like indoctrinated by this dude, because like the first little girl, she's like, I'm 11. This other girl goes, I'm 14. And then once you got to the older ones, they're like, do I have to tell you my age? And they're like, yeah, we had to identify you. And they're like, why? Like, do I have to, and like the
horse trailer guy?
yeah.
Yeah.
The indoctrinated wives are so standoffish, and they're like recording the fucking police. And I'm sitting there like, you were in a trailer being kidnapped, and like you've been kidnapped or whatever, and like you're sitting here recording the police, like you're already like full on Stockholm syndrome. And like the police were gonna take the guy away, and one of the wives were like, you need to let him go right now. Like, I'm angry about this, and they're like, you don't get to tell me what to do.
You don't get to tell me that with your little house in the prairie fucking setup you got going on.
Yeah. It was just real fucking insane to me. And the other ones, were more standard. One was really sad, but like that LDS guy, I was like, what the fuck? I've heard about these weird cult guys, but seeing it.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Apparently the Mormon church has a lot of like dark areas.
Latter-day Saints, there's a difference apparently.
Oh, that's right. Because Mormonism is like the mass Christianity versus Latter-day Saints, which is like specifically Mormon
There's
Christian.
there's like the polygamy stuff in the LDS sectors apparently.
Okay. So yeah, but apparently they breed like freaking insane people in that thing, because there was another Mormon, I don't remember his name, but there was a whole documentary on Netflix about like he basically wasn't agreeing with one of the church leaders, so he took him and his like 10 wives and like a bunch of other families to, I think it was Arizona, where they basically founded a city of nothing but Latter-day Saints people. like the cops were Latter-day Saints, like the butcher was, and this whole town was just Latter-day Saints people. But what was insane was that the leader got to a point where he was like, I guess he wanted more wives or some shit like that. And so what he did was he took all the men and sent them off to Nevada. Like, legit, he bought them all bus tickets, put them on a bus, sent them to Nevada. They arrived in Nevada, and, like, the police there, the news there are just like, where the fuck are these people coming from? Who are these people? And, like, basically their story was like, yeah, I was kicked out of my own house because, you know, so-and-so wanted my wife. It was like, wow.
Yeah, and it's like, you guys could have just beat his ass, right?
Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude, the guy was, like, fucking 60.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of, like, teenagers and, like, mid-20s guys that got sent off. I'm like...
Yeah, all it took was one extra horny LDS kid to just beat that guy up.
Yep.
Like you're saying, there's like LDS police and stuff. They could have just,
Yeah. Oh, well, and see, that's the thing, is, like, I think there was kind of, like, a cultish thing going on there, too, where, like, the police were the leaders, like, police sort of shit.
Oh,
like,
so, like, maybe the police didn't have to leave. They were still there.
Yeah.
This feels like the setup for like Hot Fuzz.
It's for the greater good.
Yeah.
I'm like, Hot Fuzz of all things is kind of a crazy one
It's
for
just
me.
the first thing that popped in my head. Yes, it's an extreme, but it's where my mind went. It was like, oh, Simon Pegg's coming up. I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, and The World's End. Those are, like, just fucking awesome trilogy if nobody's seen them. Start off with Shaun of the Dead and work in the order, go to Hot Fuzz. And then the third one, the New World, or what was that called?
Was that World's End?
I think it was like At World's End or something like that,
Yeah.
where they basically do like a bar crawl for the end of the world, which is awesome.
Right.
It's hilarious. But that one I think was like their weakest one of those three movies. But damn, those are such good films.
By the way, Hot Fuzz, if you haven't seen it, and if you're a big Game of Thrones fan, the Hound is in it, and it's kind of surprising because he's not that type of person at all. I think he can only say yarp and narp. Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
He only says yarp.
Yeah.
He doesn't say
That's
no.
it!
Oh, yeah, that's right,
Oh
that's
my
right. Yeah,
gosh! Yeah, those.
That's the Hound.
Oh!
Yeah.
And I love him in that too. He's just so fucking... Yarp.
Yarp.
Yeah, they're like, didn't run into any trouble. And Simon Pegg like had knocked him out or whatever. He's like, narp? Like,
That's...
classic comedy movies. Not really much of a thing anymore, by the way.
No.
Well, and they were also just chock full of slapstick and, like, just straight up, like, you know, slight British humors and stuff. It was great.
I think they made a fourth one. I think it's on Netflix. It's like this special school or something that a bunch of legacy people have to go to, and this guy shows up, and it's like murder is just kind of happening, and it's okay. And it's all just, it's that college fucking, everyone's fucking, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's Nick Frost.
Oh, so is it kind of like a mix of a Van Wilder / Hot Fuzz sort of thing?
I don't know. It's there's kind of this sci-fi element to it as well. You'll have to check it out. I'll look it up.
Yeah,
and try
as
to
soon
get
as
my
you find it,
information.
man, let me know. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Is Simon Pegg in it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a point, mid 2010s where I stopped watching movies, and At World's End was basically like right before that. So I'm pretty sure.
Slaughterhouse Rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is what it is.
There we go, James.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
there's.
read up on it.
I think there was a few years. It was while we were homeless, where like I stopped watching movies, stopped playing video games. So there's like a whole like it's the mid 2010s where I didn't play anything or watch anything. So I'm just missing that whole like piece of timing for people. And it's so funny when you go to catch up with people like Simon Pegg, and I'm like, oh fuck, whatever happened to that guy? And it's like, well, he did this and then fell off.
Well, but it was
Yeah.
like, I mean, at that time, I was like, he was in Star Trek and shit, I think,
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing more...
I know he was in Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a lot of films and everything. As far as like what his creations, like it's interesting. I feel like he's a very big celeb, maybe over in the UK, but over here he's kind of like he's a big name, but
he's
he's recognizable. In a
recognizable.
side role,
Yeah.
like a support role. But I think he's fucking fantastic.
Oh,
like
I
I
love
love that guy. He's in The Boys too. Like he's the dad. Like his American accent and everything. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Well, as I understand it, the character of Huey was actually made for Simon Pegg.
Yeah. Well,
So-
yeah. Oh, shoot. There's actually something on this.
Yeah, he's very much in the comic. It looks like Simon Pegg and everything. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm sure that's kind of sad. Where they're like, "Man, too bad you got old. Otherwise, we
Well,
finally got this."
I think that's
Yeah.
what it was. Like, I think the original creator of The Boys drew Huey as Simon Pegg because I think he was a fan of Simon Pegg's.
Yeah, he did a forward, or Simon Pegg did a forward for the omnibus forward too.
Yeah. And so, but then, like, when Amazon finally came around to doing something, or, like, when it finally got picked up to be a project, Simon Pegg was just, he's his older self now. So it's going to be hard to throw him as Huey.
There's a few cases where that's happened where a lot of people are like, "Oh, we want this guy to be the person," and it's like, "Oh, he's too old though. Like, what are you doing? We can't do that. We gotta go with someone else." And I'm trying to remember like some really good ones.
Well, I think Wolverine was supposed to be someone else too, like instead of Hugh Jackman back in the day. But
Oh,
Danny DeVito.
just casting, yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, someone was talking that The Rock wants to be the new Terminator. It's like, dude, you're almost as old as Arnold is now. Don't do that bullshit to me.
He needs to shut the fuck up and focus on his time in the WWE right now.
Dude, fuck him in the WWE. He needs to just retire.
There's a meme I saw that I think I did send it to Alex, where it was like me going back in time to make sure the Black Adam was a success, so The Rock doesn't have to go back to the WWE. And it's like, that might have been what happened. He did kind of throw this whole shit fit that everyone, like a pretty loud shit fit everyone heard about.
Dude, I don't know. This guy is going fucking nuts right now. He's doing promos on his own time, and it's like 20 to 30 minutes on his like Instagram. It's like, how am I supposed to keep up with that, man? Like you're turning this like, all right, I watch the show twice a week, right?
Oh, this is like a wrestling promo.
This is a wrestling promos. Yeah, he's staying in character on his own time and doing 20 to 30 minute promos on his Instagram.
That's
Chill
kinda
the
ridiculous.
fuck out, man.
And he's not even that popular anymore. Like,
Oh no! Right now, everyone loves him, but it's
For
we love to
now.
hate him.
yeah,
He's Hollywood Rock or the final boss, as he's calling himself.
He's
Or-
taking on his final
or-
form!
My favorite wrestler fucking threw out a line, called him Diarrhea Dwayne because he talks too much and is just diarrhea. So he was doing his own little promo in the ring, and the crowd started chanting diarrhea. So fucking funny.
It's a bummer because I think in another timeline, that dude would be like the one to like be the new whoever that shitty agent is, McCann. How do you pronounce his name? Vince
Oh,
McMahon. There we go, Vince McMahon. Yeah.
well,
That's
he
what he's
could've,
going
but
for right now because he's on the TKO board.
The problem is he got so far up his own ass thinking that he is like the best that
Well, that's the character he's playing right now. Is
he can't
I'm
play
Rock,
himself.
I'm the best.
He can't fucking play himself.
Yeah,
why
that's
his
who he
Hollywood
is
career
what it
sucked,
seems
too.
like. Yeah.
It's still fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's our soap operas.
Yeah, it's bad guys versus good guys.
It's like I can't get. Oh, this was another thing because like I said, we talked about that whole Chronically Online bit. I might have said that before the podcast, and I will bring that back up too. But it's like we were talking about Logan Paul the other week because Alex knows him from wrestling or whatever. I feel like I can't think of that guy as much of an actor. I feel like he just goes on wrestling and he's just himself.
He's
just
himself.
yeah, just a self-absorbed fucking like fuckhead or whatever, going like, "Drink my drink," you know.
Basically, yeah.
Are you serious? Yeah.
I mean, no. So right now, the last big thing that he did was, you guys know who Randy Orton is? He's the guy
Does
known
he sell
for
his own bathwater too?
TKO
RKO.
or RKO, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So he's a well-known wrestler.
That's a meme legend.
So at the last big pay-per-view, Logan Paul knocked him out with brass knuckles. So Logan Paul comes out and he has his little energy drink, Prime, and he has it. He's like, "All right, we've sponsored this whole thing. From now on, there's going to be a Prime Energy thing in the middle of the ring."
Wait, is Prime his?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm going to beat up my fucking nephews. Jesus.
Why?
Because they're losers and they drink Prime a lot.
Wait, so he didn't get his ass beat?
Oh no, he got his ass beat, and he's gonna get his ass beat again against
But
one
he
of my
won
favorite
basically by
wrestlers
knocking him
and
out.
Randy Orton.
Okay.
It's a handicap match between two like legends and Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think what we established the other week in that podcast talking about him is that Logan Paul basically is the heel a lot,
Yeah.
or and which
Your bad
makes
guy.
sense. Yeah, so he just plays himself.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's a good match for him. And thank you for saying handicap instead of the R word there, Alex.
It's the style of match, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah. All right. So,
I just wanted to stunk on Alex there for a minute.
speak.
So
Yeah. Well, then I guess this is a good point to cut everything off. So, do you guys want me to close this out, or?
close this out.
Yeah, close this out.
Oh, yes. Okay. So this has been Hanging with the Hooligans. I'm Chuck,
I'm Alex.
I'm James.
And I'm Doug.
and you could find my book in the Shadows of the Forest in the description below. Also, I stream on Twitch, which we could also put that link below. I'm just trying to
What have you been streaming lately?
some Helldivers, some Pillars of Eternity. Sometimes I just sit there and talk about stuff. I have pulled up Reddit before. I'm doing variety of stuff right now.
Oh no, we have another Hasanabi on the way.
No, I'm not doing politics. Oh man, I mean, it would not, at least not yet. I'm sure if something comes up, I will. But yes, thank you for listening.
Hyenas.